What's up, guys? Welcome back to Mental Health. This is Maddie, and today we're going over questions you guys had, and I'm kind of not in my normal environment. We are out of town, actually out of the country, so I wanted to go ahead and knock this out and just see what questions you guys had about the psych hospital this far. So let's go. Alright, has a kid ever died in the hospital? And ours, no. And here's why. If every staff does their job correctly, no one should ever be at risk for this. No one should ever have this possibility even play out to a point where they should have to go to the hospital. The way a psych hospital works, especially ours because we're high risk, we have extra eyes on you guys. We have people watching you at all times. We make sure you're in the right spot at the right time. We don't give you things you could harm yourself with, and when we do see them, we take them. We are very protective of you guys, but that's because we have to be. So no, a kid has never died in our hospital, and I can say that. But that's supposed to, you're supposed to protect the kids. So if everyone does their job correctly and aligns and is structured, no kid will get hurt. Do the kids wear socks? Yes, they wear these like grip protected socks. Think about the socks they wear in like hospitals, like a regular hospital or a nursing home. I wish I had an example of them. I'll find one right here. Okay, I'll put it right there. They're socks, and they're just like, they have the rubbery on the bottom, which the kids don't ever complain about because when they do mop the floors, it gets pretty slippery. But they only complain about them when we go outside because we can't allow them to have shoelaces or anything because they'll tie it. So they wear these grip protectant socks every single day. They get a new pair. It just protects them. Sometimes we have a code and we tell the kids to run into a room and that, they're not gonna slip, or sometimes they're fooling around and chasing each other when they shouldn't be, and it just protection, it helps them. So I tried to reach out to my mom, and they told me the things I'm doing is for attention. It's not. I'm really struggling. I wish she would understand. This is a good one, and this is what I'll tell you. If your mom's not listening to you, go to another trusted adult. A trusted adult can be a teacher, a counselor, a friend's parent, a spouse's parent, anyone that you can confide in, and just tell them. If your parent doesn't understand, then keep hitting it. Mom, Dad, I feel this way. I really feel this way. Mom, Dad, I really want a therapist. Just reach out until they understand. Write a letter. Journal everything about how you feel when, and provide them with it. A parent's job is to love you unconditionally, no matter what, through your highs and your lows. If they're not going to listen to you, go to another adult. I know it's summer and it's hard, but think of like a neighbor. As a kid, I loved my neighbors. I could have turned to a neighbor. Think about all the trusted people you trust in your life. And if there aren't that many, think of someone who has kids, who cares about their kids. Because one parent who loves you will see that you're still a child and will help you get the help you need, or maybe go to your parents and talk to them for you. What's an ED? Referred to in other videos. So an ED, ED can stand for several things, but in the hospital we abbreviate eating disorders as EDs, and there's several different kinds. So ones we see the most are bulimic and anorexia. I'm building onto this. Our hospital, if you have a severe ED, we will send you out to get treated for the ED before you get treated for psych, which I know is a little backwards, but you have to have nutrition in your body. You have to have food in your body. You have to be strong enough to get the help and be the tough person we need you to be. We can't have you, harming yourself in other ways. There's several different ways hospitals treat it. But for us, since we are a high-risk psych facility, more so for self-harm and depression, we do send you to another eating disorder facility, and when you feel like treatment and that you're in a safe and healthy weight, they'll send you back for your psych. Not everyone agrees with it, but it's state rules. We don't really have any control over that. Are psych hospitals scary? I always say they're as scary as you want to make them. They're not scary. But if you go in thinking it's going to be the worst time of your life, thinking that it's going to be like every horror movie you've ever watched, that you're going to go and you're going to be abused or, terrified, you're going to go in scared. If you go in with a clear mind and you're like, okay, I'm going to get treatment. I'm going to do the best I can. It might be kind of scary. It's a new environment. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to do the best to my ability. then you're gonna go in and it's not gonna be as scary. That thing I hate about movies is that movies portray psych hospitals as like this horrifying nightmare of a terrible event, you know, or it's really tough because when you work there, you see one side, the kids see another side, but movies portray like an awful side of it, which never exists. The psych hospital movies are always horror movies. So if you think you're going inpatient in psych, just stay away from them because they're just gonna scare you. They're not haunted. They're not like, you know, scary. We don't abuse you guys. Like, you know, there's just so many rumors. Like, everything we do is out of care. Like, if you don't want to eat your food, I'm gonna ask you, where do you want me to get food from? You want McDonald's? You want Taco Bell? You know, like, we're gonna go the extra mile. 90% of us who work there are there because we've had something in our life that led us to work there, not because they like the minimum wage pay that we get. So think about that. Think about you're going into a treatment center to get help. And these people are just like extensions of a family that are trying to help you. That's how I try to tell kids about it. If someone is trans or non-binary, which ward do they have to go to? This is tough. Do I agree with this? No, not at all. I think you should go to the gender you think you are assigned or you know you're assigned to. Like if you're non-binary or you're gender fluid or you're questioning and you don't know and you think you want to go to one or the other, there should be a unit for you guys. But they make you go by your gender at birth. This is only our place. I don't know how every place is. Do I agree with it? No. But what I can advise you is say you are a gender assigned female at birth, right? But you identify as male and you want to transition eventually, go to your therapist. Hey, look, I don't feel comfortable on the girls unit. I identify as male. I present myself as male. I plan on transitioning. I want to be on the male unit. See what they can do. You asking just opens up different avenues in which they can go down. Whereas if you just pout or get upset or cry or just not say anything while being stuck on the girls unit, no one knows. There's been several times that I've batted for a kid who wanted to be on the male unit but was, you know, assigned gender at birth, so they were stuck on girls. I was like, you can't put him over here. He identifies as he. He's transitioning. He deserves to be on the boys unit. You know, there's different things. We have an acute unit, which is like the calmer kids, which they tend to, you know, if you are gender fluid or non-binary and you don't want to be assigned a unit, I try to push kids towards there, like put them in there. Look, us causing trauma by putting them on a unit that they're gender assigned at birth versus where they are now, that's not fair to them. So I fight for you guys, just a heads up. Like, I think it's very, very, very important because if I were identifying as male, I would not want to be on the girls unit. I feel like that would be very disrespectful, and it would be like kind of a downer to me. Like, how am I supposed to get better when I don't even identify with what I'm being put as? I vote for you guys. I fight. Okay. Has a kid ever ran away? If so, what do you do about it? We chase them. There's a lot of times, so at our hospital, and I'm just gonna be very honest with you guys, I don't care if I get in trouble. If you pull the fire alarms, the door's open, and that's like a safety regulation. So all the kids know that if they pull them, they can run. Well, it happens quite a bit, and so there's a lot of days where we're just chasing them. If we can't convince you to go back, because so we're in a wooded area, so I tend to not run in the woods. I will let the men go in the woods because there are homeless people out there. It is in the not so great part of town. There's just a lot of shootings out there. Like, it's really tough as a female without a walkie to run into the woods not knowing what you're getting into. So if I can't see the kids and they're like, everyone search the woods, we'll usually let the men search the woods and the women take the roads and stay in a group. That way we can search. 9 out of 10 times, I would say 9.999%, we can see the kid because we catch them. That 0.001% we don't see them, we search the woods, but we've always found them. I don't think we've ever lost a kid, mostly because you're in scrubs. If someone sees you, they call the cops, but also, like, where is it to run? It's like a 20-mile like expedition you'd have to go on. Like, you know, I think a lot of the kids run for fun and then come back, but no, almost every single time we've caught them. And it's just because we have to protect them. We can't let them go off on these adventures on their own, like if something happened to them. What would staff do if you had a mental breakdown? This happens like every day. I sit with you. If you're having a mental breakdown, I'm gonna sit with you. You know, you'll talk when you're ready. I'll get you some coping skills. I'll start playing with the coping skills and I'll just wait. I get it. Sometimes when you're upset, you don't want to talk. I don't want to talk when I'm upset, and I understand, so I'll just sit there with you. It's the best and easy thing to help you. When you're ready, you'll talk. When you're ready, you'll tell me what's going on. But until then, I'm just gonna sit with you. That way you know someone cares about you. The worst thing a staff can do is look at you and then walk away. Or be like, you good? And you say, yeah, and you're clearly not, and then they walk away. No, I sit there because that shows support. What's your favorite thing about the psych hospital? Probably the fact that when a kid comes back, they know that I'm going to be strict, I'm going to be hard on them, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be the one that fights the most for them and supports them the most. And, you know, the first thing a bunch of kids do when they come back is, Miss Maddie here? Is Maddie here? Can I talk to Maddie? They know. And they know when they come in, I'm going to be like, why are you back? What'd you do? Let's talk. What's going on? What didn't work out? We had a plan. And then, okay, well, you know the expectations. Let's do your treatment. I'm here for you. When you need me, you come get me, that kind of thing. I would say that's the best feeling because they know when they come back, they have a safe person, and it's usually me. What makes a kid high risk? So every place is different. For us, it is strictly usually the fact that the kid has been kicked out of so many low risk facilities because they self-harm so much. It's a huge risk. I don't want to go too far into that one because it is a touchy subject because each place is different. Are kids allowed to have their service dogs there? No. Here's why. A kid bringing a service dog in is risking the dog's life. These kids are very aggressive, very, very destructive. They destruct property when they're blacked out in flashbacks and going at it. They don't know what they're doing. So we don't allow them, and I don't know if most facilities do. I do have to wrap this up because everyone's leaving. I love you guys. Please remember, it's about day, month, or year, not life. Thank you for the questions. We'll try to do this once a month, but this is Inside Psych, and I love you guys, and yeah, I'll see you next week.